We're back.
Hey, we are live. We are 6 minutes late from our normal time, and that's because Mr. Russell Brunson was speaking right before this, as many of you may have seen, and he was talking about all the UI changes in ClickFunnels 2.0. And so I should introduce myself. I am Dan Havey, and this is my co-host here, Madison. And what we're going to do today is something different, because I'll tell you this going forward. See, this week Russell decided that he needs to up his game a little bit as far as going live, and so every afternoon he's going to be going live. And now we had been going live at 3 p.m. Eastern time on Mondays and Fridays.
Yep.
Now we're probably going to be changing that up with that. We're going to probably go an hour later. Maybe we'll find a morning time slot. We don't know quite yet. But because of all the huge announcements today for ClickFunnels 2.0, we decided to scrap everything we had planned regarding the AI stuff. We'll get back to that next week. But what we decided is, hey, why not take a tour of the new UI? Neither Madison or I have seen any of it yet. We don't know what it looks like. So this is going to be fun and exciting. We're going to break things, and we're going to be excited and sad and all at the same time.
Hopefully we don't break anything, because ClickFunnels 2.0 is pretty robust. I would say it's very robust. I was asked the other day why I would choose to build on ClickFunnels, and I said because otherwise I would have to trust my own code to build on something like an AWS database or Google Firebase, Cloudflare store. And I would much rather trust the code with ClickFunnels than the code I would write, or the code I would maybe pay somebody to write in a different country and just hope and pray that all the widgets are connected together. So I don't know about you, Dan. You write code a little bit better than I do. So.
Well, I don't know about that, but I was going to say one of our other alternatives is what I used prior to using ClickFunnels, which is WordPress. So we could use WordPress, but I don't think I want to go back there either. So I'm much happier with ClickFunnels 1.0 or 2.0 than I ever was with WordPress. So I'm happy where we are. And eventually here we may have the great Mr. Danny Walsh showing up as well. And Mr. Super Affiliate himself, will introduce him when he comes aboard. But Madison, do we want to just jump in there and show the new UI and show people what we got?
Totally. And we got Loris watching from Colorado. He said he just watched Russell. Yep, that was our opening act. So our opener for today's show. We only wish.
I think we're getting in trouble if Russell was the opening act and we're the what do you call whoever comes after the opening act? I think we're the, I don't know. We're not the opening act. Russell is. No, not the other way around. The star, the main act. Whatever.
We're the music playing as you leave. But yeah. So, hopefully we don't have any spoilers in here. We shouldn't. But this is what a lot of you guys probably have seen when you have opened your ClickFunnels account. Believe it came. We maybe saw a little teaser of a few things starting on Wednesday, I think it was, with a new sidebar navigation when you're inside the funnel builder. But like I opened this account up about 5 minutes before Russell went live, and I was like, whoa. And then Andy Ortega said that us ambassadors should record a reaction video. And I'm like, oh, too late though. But it is always like, wow.
We got in too late to do our reaction video. Now, I actually saw this because I was on the ClickFunnels State of the Union address the other day for internal people with ClickFunnels. And, excuse me, and I did see it, and it is quite impressive. But you will definitely get to see our reactions here. We're gonna have plenty of them as we go along. But maybe because what you mentioned already, Madison, is the new sidebar. Why don't we go in and just click on a funnel and go in and see what the heck we're talking about with the new sidebar before we get into the new UI that we're already looking at?
Yeah, totally. So we're just going to go through funnels at the top, because funnels are always the best. And we will just plop into, you guys will see our top secret amazing project we're working on. But
top secret.
It's no longer top secret. No, it's not top
Yeah.
secret. But this shows the scale of what you can build inside ClickFunnels, and that's the beauty of it, right? You can build absolutely anything you want inside ClickFunnels with an idea, some inspiration, some out of the box thinking, and hard work. You can build pretty much absolutely all of it inside
And
ClickFunnels.
a
So
little elbow grease.
yes, so you can see here, I'm just going to add a row, and voila.
Well, okay, so add a section because that will show us a lot more stuff. So I mean, go on the page there so you can add a section somewhere.
I already did. It was that just that simple.
Oh, I thought you just added a row. Okay. Oh, you
Yep,
added a
added
section.
a
Okay, I'm
section.
sorry. Okay. So what she's looking at here, and I actually shot a video for this and dropped it into the group the other day. So when I first saw this was like on Wednesday morning or something, I think it was like 2:30 in the morning. I wasn't sleeping. And so I dropped in a section, and then I see this thing up here at the top, and you see the row, and this is 1 column, 2 column, 3 column. I'm like, what is that? And then I immediately started looking around, go, where's the thing where I can add a section as an element? And it didn't allow me to do that. And so then I was like, oh, that's what this is here. So you can add a section, put a row into it, and then when you would where you would normally put an element, you can come in here and click on this at the top where it says row and 1 column, 2 column, 3 column. You can click on one of those, and what it will do is it'll put a new section and that row with however many columns you choose inside where the element should be. And then, of course, you can put elements inside of there. So you actually create like 4 layers. So you're nesting stuff inside of other stuff. And it's really a super cool feature of ClickFunnels.
Yeah, 100%. So if I add, and you probably played around with this, if I add a headline, does it automatically add a row? Yeah, it
Well,
did.
that's why I think you, instead of clicking on a section, I think you did just click on a
You did,
row. So if
right.
you
I did
scroll all the
click on
way down to the bottom,
yep. All right, yep. Blank
so now we got to,
section,
now add a 1 column row.
column row. Yep.
And
Yeah,
now
and then
what
I
we can do is add a 3 column row inside of that, but it also adds a section in there too. So if you hover over it and you just show the boxes, we got row, section. Now you keep going out a little further, row, and then section. And so it gives
press.
you all kinds of different layers to be able to do things and put in background colors and round the corners on the sections and elements and shadows and all kinds of stuff. It just gives you a lot more flexibility on what it's going to look like.
Yeah, I think the perfect example is, and maybe this will make more sense to people, if we start with a 2 column row.
Mm,
Now inside here, I could do 2 more columns, add in images, right? Just add in these placeholders. And then I could still have my paragraph over here like this.
right.
With before
And
you had
that's
to use flex to get this kind of style.
right, exactly. And this is infinitely easier than Flex for most people to work with. And the other cool thing here is if you go to click on the gear for the rows there, you can also in here something new that they put in. If you go up to the advanced, something else you can do in here is you can tell it what you want it to look like on mobile, whether it should be stacked on top of each other, which is the old default for 1.0, or in this case here, you can leave them side by each when you go into mobile. And then if you go back to the settings tab in the sidebar, just stay in the sidebar there and go back into the settings tabs, which is the first one. You can also go here, column height. So you can go full height or you can go auto. And so the auto, I think is how it works, evens them out so they're the same height. So again, it's the same effect of using flex and using stretch within flex, where you can make your columns that are side by side, you can make them the same height. So instead of, in 1.0, if you didn't know CSS, you're in there and you're putting in extra padding, extra margin, you're putting in all kinds of different crazy things I've seen to try to get the height to equal up. And so it's, again, it's pretty cool feature. What they actually did, because I've looked at the code on this, is they actually added flex to each one of the columns. That's why they're able to do this. So that was, again, a pretty genius move to be able to do that. And so those are a couple features there. But again, let's go back to the sidebar because we haven't really showed a whole lot of that.
So I think it's gonna take some people a little bit to find things. That's what it kind of took me, just because it's just slightly different, right? It's a lot prettier, but it is slightly changed in how. So if you can't find anything, obviously you can always search at the top or just scroll through each one of these sections, and everything is still there. Man, there might even be more.
Well, I think there's a couple more. I saw some stuff in there for where you can like download your assets and stuff like that. I don't recall seeing it before. It may have been in there, but they've also kind of reorganized things. If you go all the way down to the advanced, down in there is where you're going to get to your courses and your blogs and your products down in here. And so the other day, when I first looked at this, I looked at the courses and I go, well, where are the course collections? Where are the lesson collections, the module collections? And then I saw right above where it says advanced in the black area, it says collections. So they're up there a little bit further. Same thing with the navigation. They put the what am I thinking? The
The breadcrumbs and the
they put the progress bar for the
oh yeah.
courses into the navigation. So again, you got to look around a little bit, but it's so well laid out. I found them all within like 30 seconds of going, hey, where is this thing? I just scrolled up a little bit and there it was. So it's really simple to deal with. And if you go up to the top and you click on my assets, so you click out of the sidebar and then go up and click on my assets, it will open that up again as well. And then of course at the top you got your saved sections.
Yep.
And so if you click on that, you got your save sections and your universal sections in there as you scroll down.
Yep. Because
So
we
again,
utilize save sections a lot, especially with this project.
you use universal sections, you said?
Saved sections.
Save sections. Well,
Because if
yeah,
you save
save
here,
sections
it
are
will.
great. Yeah, especially if you're trying to like move something from one place to another, one funnel to another, even one workspace to another. Save the sections, drop all the sections into a funnel, share it to yourself, pull it back into a different workspace, pull the sections back out, and there you go. So it's a real simple way to be able to move stuff around, and it certainly beats having to rebuild everything.
Yeah, and I think like the in particular, this project we're building, um, because of save sections, because of pages and all of that that is inside 2.0 makes it possible, right? Without save sections, it would be a nightmare on another platform to have to go through and be like, oh, okay, here we want all of this kind of like blog style. Computer's lagging a little bit. Oh, wait, okay. Okay. Like we want all of our pages to have this kind of layout, right? So I can keep this as a save section, plug it into any page, and then change out the words, copy and paste, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Now, another thing that, just in case somebody doesn't know about this, again, is one of my other favorite features. If you go up to the top and you click on layout, that again is one of my absolute favorite features. Now that's been in 2.0 from the very beginning, but it makes it so easy to be able to just scroll through here, see exactly where every section, row, element is, and then up at the top it says everything. So let's say you only want to look for your sections, you just click on everything up at the top, and then you click on sections, and then you would see only your sections, your rows, your columns, whatever you want to see in there. So that again is one of my favorite things in there. And I'm starting to use style guides a lot more too. At first, I just like, but now once you do it a few times, you go, this is a heck of a lot easier than rebuilding this thing every time. Every time you're trying to do some shadows or something, it's so much easier. Just click on the style guide and you're done. It's a second's worth of work.
No, 100%. I think it gives that universal look to all your pages. And if you go through and you're like, I don't love this font right here, right? You go down there, you edit the style. We're gonna go with, you know, a different font. Go back, we hit update. Now everything with this style guide is gonna change that font as
Yeah.
the primary um, headline for whatever pages it's on.
Well, the same thing with colors and everything else. And then if you got multiple different style guides, you just go in there and you can turn on a different style guide. And there you go. You can go from having predominantly blue colors to predominantly red, just with a simple click. and it just changes everything out for you. So yeah, there's a lot of super cool things in here, and we haven't even got to the updates that they gave us today. Which do we exhaust everything here? Do we want to jump out there and check to see what Russell granted us today?
Do you want to talk about? I guess I should double check that there's some new things over here with your pop-ups.
Yeah, we can look at those there. So one of my favorite thing, and I actually sent something into the dev, because one of the things Russell said today is, if you see something in here that you don't think is working right or whatever, let us know. And so the other day I actually shot a video for the devs because I did have a question. So let's show the one that it works, what I think is right first, and then I'll show you the one I don't think is working right. But we'll find out what their reasoning is on it. But if you click on trigger on page load, and then say whatever the heck you have to say on there.
Yeah,
Um,
show when the
now,
page time load.
now
Yeah,
you will have to save your page when we do this. So as long as
yes,
that's okay with you.
yeah,
So
it's fine.
on there it says page load delay. So how long do you want the delay to be for the pop up? And you can go as long as 20,000 milliseconds, which is 20 seconds. So 1,000 milliseconds is 1 second. So I don't think we want to go to 20,000. So make it like, a second or two, just so we can show people how this works. Even though I think it's pretty intuitive, you can pretty much figure out what's going to happen after 2.4 seconds, as soon as Madison saves it and then goes to a live page. And so we'll see how quickly the page loads. 1001, 1000. Okay, so it actually started loading before the thing started spinning at the top, because it should be 2.5 seconds, 2.4 seconds from whenever the page was done loading. And so you got to kind of play with that. And so again, the problem is how long does it take somebody's page to load? How fast is their internet? How fast is their browser? How fast is their computer? So there are variables on that. But if you want it to show 5 seconds after they get there, you can pretty much set it to 5 seconds and you'd probably be just fine. Now, if we go back and look at the other feature of the pop-up that I'm questioning on how it works, is where it says open when an element is visible. So you can click on there, you can scroll down, and you can find, let's see if you can find like a section down further on the page or something. So the whole idea is, as you scroll down the page and that section then becomes visible, what it's going to do is it's going to open up the pop-up. But what I found is, as you come down and you just get close to it, or you get to the point where like maybe the very like top couple of pixels or something on the section shows, then the pop-up opens. And in my mind, I thought, well, don't we want to see what's on the page that we're targeting? But maybe not. So if you want them to see something above that, then you just pick a section down below it. So when they
Yep,
get down too far, basically they get too far on the page past what you already wanted them to see, then the pop-up pops up, which is probably the rationale behind it.
yep. Yeah, because obviously, as you can see, like I got down. I did not see if I go a little slower this time. I triggered it on those sections we just created. Yeah, and I got down to pretty much the end of this blue box right here. Where and there's a little bit of space there. So yeah, you would probably definitely want to set it for like, if I wanted this section to show, then the footer image or whatever would be below it.
Yeah. So you got to have if you have a really short page, you're probably not going to use that functionality. You'd probably only use it if you had something quite long. So they, read the sales letter part of it, of the page, or at least see the top, top part of the page above the fold. And then as they get down further, then the pop-up comes up, because you don't want the pop-up going over the top of what you really want them to see, which is the sales message at the very top.
Yeah, 100%.
So it probably makes sense. I was just thinking, I figured get to the part where I want to see, but then even then they wouldn't be able to see it for long enough, I guess. So I could be wrong about that one. So all right, was there the only other thing that they came out with the other day had to do with courses, And I don't think that's, most people aren't going to probably use this feature too much. Basically, what it is it's a way to be able to preview the theme for your course pages. But again, you can go explore that one on your own. I also shot a video and put it into the group where everybody can go check that out as well. So I guess now let's go and see what all the cool stuff is that they dropped for us today.
All right, I'm going to back out of this. All right.
Loris is asking, he's been trying to install his funnel or his message hub for 15 minutes and it's not working. He said, did we break the internet? No, probably not. Remember, this is beta.
Yep.
So this is beta. We just dropped this thing out to how many, who knows how many people are trying to get in there right now. And so, yeah, things may not be working perfectly today. But I'm sure
So
they're back there scrambling around working on it.
for most people, if you were not at Funnel Hacking Live, your accounts will look like this, and you'll have to come in here and add like Payments AI. Add the app. I don't have Payments AI actually set up, so
Yeah,
I
I
would
would
need to go
probably
through
say we probably don't want to try to add payments AI right now. So why don't we start at the top and start clicking around up there and then come on down because we is there anything at the very top in the top left where it says ClickFunnels and probably not. So then
we
we'd
have products.
products and inventory in there.
I don't think that there is anything. Yeah, I know Payments AI is not set up.
That looks pretty similar to what it looked like before.
Yep.
Now, did they have an inventory tab before? I don't recall seeing one, but it doesn't mean there's not there. I don't really deal with products too much.
Uh,
In the left sidebar says inventory.
ooh, I don't think so. I think this is because I think it was just products and then collections, I think, but man, I guess we can't go back in time, you
Well,
know?
I was gonna say we can't go back and look at what we used to have.
Yeah.
So, but it does say there under inventory, it says search variants. So that makes me think that maybe possibly it was there before. Okay, so what do we got under customers? Wow,
So,
we got all kinds of stuff under there.
yeah. I know that there is James was telling us that there is some improvements in the way that you can segment your customers in terms
Wait,
of filters and how we can also now access the filters of custom inputs.
right. Okay, so yeah, we do have the custom inputs there. So that does beg a lot of questions. Because I know there was some functionality that we were trying to get to work for custom inputs, but now right off the top of my head, I'm not kind of drawing a blank on what they were. I think we're actually trying to access them through the API, so we'll have to check the API to see if that has surfaced in there yet or not.
Yep.
So the rule ends with
Yeah, so you just have to it's just not dynamic, so you would have to remember what the variables, what the options were for the custom for your custom inputs.
mhm.
So that would be the only thing. But we go like contact tag is lead. Hit apply. Or I could say or save filter and then create segment. I do not know. Oh, yeah, I'm the only one tagged with the lead. So I could just click through right here and now see everybody in that segment.
Okay, so so a segment in this case here was everybody who had a specific tag.
Correct. Yes.
So I'm trying to think what could we equate this to something else? I mean, so basically, uh,
You could make it for who purchased different products or who had not renewed their subscription, um, things like that. I would imagine.
Yeah, well, you had a whole drop down list there. If you go back in and create a new one, you had a whole big, huge list of all kinds of different things that we could have sorted by.
Canceled recurring products, canceled product variant, contact details, contact tag. Created that, decline product purchase attempt. So these would be your abandoned carts for people that, their purchase didn't go through. Email address, enrolled in different courses. Talk about that's one thing. If you're trying to troubleshoot why somebody can't get to something, you could have a filter to see who all's enrolled in that course and then kind of reverse sort through, another list of all your buyers.
Yeah. Yeah, or yeah. But also in that case there, if you knew a particular person who was having trouble, you would just go in with their email address, look them up and see, okay,
Yep.
yeah, the reason you're not enrolled is because you never purchased anything. So that
Correct.
means their purchase didn't go through. So then you get to help them out with that as well.
Yep.
But owns the
Last name,
product.
lifetime
Right.
value, opted on funnel step, owns product variant, purchase product variant, unsubscribed, updated, viewed funnel step, viewed product page.
And then you got all your custom stuff. All right.
So
So
you
you can
could get
basically,
pretty, yeah, you could get pretty creative on like your abandoned carts for who viewed a page but didn't buy but bought something else. So like, oh, they should have seen the OTO, but maybe their card didn't go through. Things like that.
well, yeah. And Todd was talking about all kinds of different scenarios you can do on that regarding workflows. So you can
Mhm.
take all these segments, you can segment these people, give them the tags. I mean, I think in general of all these things, it kind of be like tags. So you give them all their different tags, and then you can use your workflows to segment them, move them all over the place, and then when certain person with certain tag gets to a certain point in a workflow, if they got that tag, then they get kicked out and go into a different workflow. It's just it's crazy the flexibility I think that we're going to be able to have with this here. So
Yeah,
so we don't go too long here. What do we got under orders? We got all kinds of things to keep going on here.
there is lots of things under here. So we have our subscriptions, our payments. And like I said, this account doesn't have anything in it. Um, the thing that caught my eye right over here is order exports,
Hmm.
which is new. So
So that's going to do create an order.
so now you can create a test order, but like if you needed to export this for some reason, um, those would all be there and you could pitch them out, I guess. Might have to pull up
Yeah, so yeah, by export, I wonder, does that mean export it to, so if you're shipping something and you tell it to export it, you're exporting it to your shipping house or something like that, I wonder?
yeah, I was gonna see, well, if I can pull up, check a different account without um, exposing people's information to give us a little
Right.
more information about it. Um, let's see. So I think it kind of works just like it worked before, in terms of like you could make a bulk action to export an order. Um, I am not seeing, and maybe there's some functionality that's coming from that specific um, feature there that's just not fully visible yet.
Yeah. And
Maybe
one
there's
thing I
something on
would
the
say
horizon.
is my question would be is, does this also show test purchases? So you can go through here and you can test it with a bunch of stuff, I wonder, and then see, okay, so this person got these subscriptions, this person had this payment, and I see invoices in there. So does that mean we can create actual invoices and then send it out to people? I think you can, because that was available before. It was running for a while, then I think they took it down probably in preparation for this.
Yep,
And you see the orders you fulfilled, draft
yep,
orders,
yep,
abandoned. Not quite sure how
yep.
somebody abandons an order. I don't know. Do you mean
It's
abandon
like
a
an
cart?
abandoned cart, I think, would be is where it's at. There is, and I don't think I can show this without exposing people's information, but under payments, there is a cool new feature here. Um, is rebill rebuild number, and the rebuild number will show you how many times it rebuild. So you would know, hey, this person's on their second or third or fourth subscription for your membership or your continuity program. So that's kind of cool just to see. You can get your one-time sales versus your people who came through multiple times.
So does that show a rebuild because they're on a continuity program and they've been in it for 6 months, so a rebuild 6 times? Is that what you're saying
Yep,
that number would be? Okay.
yep,
Okay.
yep.
All right. Um, all right. Well, let's keep moving down here. Unless you want to click on some more under the orders there, but I think we're going to see kind of the same
Same old.
thing, a little bar with zeros and zeros. So what do we got under marketing?
So
Oh
far.
wait, go back to the invoices there for a second, because that again, that might be something interesting where you can create an invoice and send it to somebody. So I don't see anywhere to create a new one.
But I did see that under so on my other one, it does show you all of your invoices that went out in terms of any purchase that went technically does create an invoice. So those are all there under your basically it's going to be a repeat for a lot of people of their orders. But think I thought I saw over here and create an order. Thought we could create an. I guess maybe it was just order and test purchase is what I was thinking. Yeah, live order test purchase. So okay. So we will move on to marketing.
Did you click on it? Is it?
Oh, I was waiting for you. I didn't know if you were going to say
Oh
anything.
no. I was waiting for you to click on it. So, all right. So workflows. We could probably show how you can segment something in there. So we can just create a new one.
Yeah, that's great.
And see what all the triggers are, because I know there should be a bunch of new triggers in there as well, just like we had with whatever the first thing was, with all the new options.
So Laura said, can a certain payment trigger a workflow? Like they get the third payment, they get a tag or a call. I would imagine so because you can. Let's see. Let's see if we can. We could trigger on rebill, or if there's a filter for that. I think you would maybe have to. We'd have to see if in like pipelines if we could filter by rebill number. I guess would be the way we would have to do that, and then the pipeline would fire off a workflow or would trigger a workflow.
Yeah, because I think that is a possibility too. Now, in here, pipelines, I think they call them opportunities.
This one says sales, contact entered stage, contact exited stage.
Okay, but you said within a pipeline. I think they're calling those opportunities. Where do I have a note on that somewhere. Um, yeah, opportunities is what they call pipelines or leads in other softwares.
Yep.
Triggers.
Yep. Sales, contact entered stage. The pipeline was just the default one. The stage is say appointments requested. When we create that one as active.
Okay, so we got our trigger set. Then what can we set after that?
So we got once you hook up Message Hub, you would be able to send Message Hub. You can also send emails, assets. You can pause until a contact workflow run at a specific event is triggered. I do not think that this is still not date specific. This is still event type.
Well, I saw something the other day, and I actually sent it over to Adam Bogue about. No, I think it's planned. I think those are planned or in progress. The triggers for specific dates, not dripping, not a drip from something. So they are working on that one as of right now.
Yeah. So it looks like this one you could run this if you're waiting for like their appointment to be scheduled. Um, you could hold them there until they scheduled that appointment, or they registered on a calendar event in a countdown funnel, or
Okay.
they completed a lesson in the course.
Well, and also with the calendar now, they have a full blown calendar in there and appointment. Yeah. So like appointment scheduling, calendars, events, pipelines, opportunities, message hub. I was just like reading off here what Todd rattled off real quick earlier. I think I missed a couple along the way.
Yep. So
Okay.
obviously conditional split class, split test, and delay all still there. Um, this one's kind of been grayed out it's been there for a while, but I think that's probably some of the stuff that's coming. Trigger another workflow is still there, end still there, conditional goal is still there, tag, add note, notify, create opportunity for us that had sales previously. We had that, or had the way to use it. Enroll, unenroll, grant access, revoke community access, still the same. Pulls the contact all the way through till the end. Third-party integration is still the same. Webhooks, passing. If you wanted to, I utilize this a lot when I run multiple different funnels. And for example, I run multiple fishbowl funnels. And so I have multiple giveaways and they're branded differently, all in one kind of main, I don't want to call it like a junk account, but it's like my my chameleon ClickFunnels account, right? It can be different brands and different businesses and different funnels, specifically fishbowl funnels and funnels I build as share funnels and things like that. I use the webhook because it just makes it easier with Zapier instead of using the 2.0 specific integration. So if you needed to pass, maybe you're passing information to something not using Zapier, you could use this webhook here.
So let me get this straight. So you're saying you're taking the information. So somebody opts. So you got three different workspaces, let's say, and you're running three different fishbowl funnels through this. And so when somebody opts into workspace number one, you send them over to a different workspace.
No,
So
I
you're
have run
keeping you're
like
keeping
three.
your list. You're keeping your list all in one place. Is that what you're trying to do?
No, I run three different fishbowl funnels in the same workspace. So like I have just one workspace that's just kind of like for random projects, right? I don't sell any products, so I don't have like, or if I had an overarching payments AI brand that, was like a generalized thing, then I could run that. But for example, say you want to send information to Airtable, but you don't want to pay Zapier every single time. You could use this webhook right here and send that information to Airtable.
Okay.
At least I think.
Yeah. Well, and again, this is all new and it's all in beta, and so we're speculating a lot here too today because we this all went live half an hour ago, so an hour ago, something like that. So we haven't had a chance to take a look at it, but Russell said get in there and start clicking around, and so we said, well, as long as we're going live, we might as well do it.
Yeah.
So why don't we?
This does work. This does work. The thing I think, as it was, I said, in like, as I think, is the Airtable part of it. So the webhooks, you can run them through this workflow. This does work. It would just be, grabbing the webhook from somebody else. So
Yeah, you should be able to do that with a webhook because we run stuff to Airtable all the time. All right, let's bounce back out of here and see what else we got. Because we haven't even gotten down to the bottom part yet, which is I think newer stuff. So automations, broadcasts, and email templates. Well, we got no automations in here. Let me see. Automation workflows are whatever you want them to be. Oh, that's good. So do you want to?
description.
Yeah, well, you got workflows and you got automation workflows. What the heck is the difference?
Oh, okay. So these are where we set automations for inside of our pipelines, our sales. Yeah, it's sales pipeline's the correct one. So say we want this to happen automatically, as it sounds. Like this, we're in uncharted waters here. So
Better
okay.
off that way. Well, when 2.0 originally came out, Susan Leonardson, Andrea Peer, and myself, we're all jumping in here. We're like going, "Hey, what's this? What's this new thing?" And all that. I mean, so we're basically doing the exact same thing as we're doing now because we didn't know what any of it was, and so we were just clicking around and having fun and doing it live. So we're kind of doing the same thing here.
Yeah, so basically, these are, and I think there's an extra T in there. I think it's misspelled.
This is not the autumn or missing ON, TION.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
So
we're not
these
going
are
to spell check.
miniature workflows that are tailored to record. They are not to the record they are associated with. This is not an optimal form for adding automations. Visit the page for additional resources to see how you can add automations directly to your data. So maybe more functionality coming with this in the coming weeks.
Yeah. Not quite sure what that one is. So email broadcasts, email templates. I think we all pretty much know what those things are. So when we get down to site, if it's like the old UI was, that will give us our course home, not our course homepage, our site
This
homepage.
is different.
Yeah. So we got overview here.
So I could add a new page. I could add customer center. I can add a domain from here. I could add my recent posts and my site pages.
Okay.
So I
New
guess
site
this would
page.
be like if you added a about us, like a traditional website type design in terms of site pages.
Well, and it added the page path there.
Hmm.
So yeah, is this the same as again, because we're working on an account here that doesn't have a lot of stuff in it? Is this the same as well, we would have had side pages? So you could take like a standalone page or something like that, and you click the little box, and it would make it then a site page. And I guess right there on the left it says site pages, and it does have about us, but we don't know if that's the one you just put in,
So
not for
yeah,
sure.
that is the one I just put in. What
Okay.
is a site page? Site pages are additional custom pages you can add to your site navigation that are not included in your theme by default.
Okay. Yeah, the biggest difference is it shows up right here.
Yep.
So you can easily, from this page here, you can easily go in. You can work on the site pages. You can work on your course home. If you go up to the top there and you click on course home, you're going to see the course lesson template and the course module template. And then you're going to see the same thing with the blogs and the storefront. So it's an easy place right here to be able to just quickly in and out access a bunch of different pages. That's the
Yep.
main thing about putting that on the site page.
Yep. And I would think, let's see if we can access our pages. So we can still access our pages here. So I think this is more just like an overview of all your pages and your blog posts.
Yeah. Now this kind of begs the question because we got our site pages here. Where are all of our theme pages and funnel page? They had that thing that the one page before was all the pages. So you had your standalone pages, your theme pages, your site pages, and your funnel pages. So I'm wondering where that is now.
Okay, looking for the rest of your pages.
Wow,
See
look at that. See workspace
workspace
settings.
settings.
Okay.
So that's
There we
under
go.
pages here under workspace settings.
Wow, you just opened up a whole can of worms there. Look at all that. I don't want to be here till midnight.
Well, this like I said, this project is a can of worms, but shows my dedication and trust to ClickFunnels that I believe that this is the best place to build this. But back to workplace settings, they are also right down here, right above your name. If
Right.
you've
Yeah.
noticed, and most people probably wouldn't notice, they wouldn't put two and two together. If you run an agency or you're a funnel builder for multiple people, we used to be able to toggle accounts up here at the top. That functionality has now all gone down here to the bottom.
Right.
So
So
that's
all
one thing I
your
was looking for, like how to get into, the different accounts and things like that. That's all down here at the bottom.
now technically they're saying there at the top they're workspaces, but I think that's either themes or
So
universal something I heard Todd call it the other day, but I don't recall what he had said.
these
Because
workspaces are accounts that I'm added as either a funnel builder or team admin on.
yeah, but if you scroll up to the top, you should have your first your one there at the top,
Yeah.
which has now those are workspaces technically inside of your what I think had been teams in the old UI. Isn't that
Yes, I think Teams, or you can also get into it there too.
yeah.
But yeah, this is
So
all that stuff that used to be up over here in this corner.
right, right.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, so go back to overview because one of the things there underneath site, if you go in
Mhm.
the top right hand corner, I saw there we got edit site up there. And I would guess that's where you picked your domain and all those things like you had in the old UI. Nope.
No, it looks like it's Funnel Hub. It would be your Funnel Hub or your homepage.
Okay. So that must be under workspace settings.
I think it's the 3 dots. I think it's ultimately right here, site
Oh, okay.
settings.
All right, let's see what that takes us to. Okay, there we go. Okay. So that's pretty similar to the old one, probably pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then we have our
Blog. I've yet to build any blog stuff yet. Someday maybe.
yeah. Um, I think that the thing that is, let's see if, and this might be something that this kind of messed me up for a while. It might be messed a lot of people up. This is just like your start of it, right? And you go create a post, and then when you click back into that post, this is where it pops up the editor and where you would create your blog just like you would normally do, right? And so this is maybe the benefit of your saved sections is you have the layout that you like that you've designed for your blog. You put your saved section in and now you're like, all right, today's blog, I copy and pasted ChatGPT, whatever it is.
don't
Of course,
write
you do that.
anything anymore. If you got ChatGPT, forget that writing stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, But what this is acting like is we're acting just like the lesson too. So you got the template for the lesson page, you got the template for the blog page, and then whatever you create for the blog or the lesson goes inside of it. So you can have, I mean, think about, regular WordPress blog or something. You're going to have a header across the top, you're going to have a footer, and then normally on one side or the other, you're going to have some sort of navigation. You're going to have your categories, your tags, your authors, recent posts, stuff like that. So this is just the part that goes into what is actually known as a dynamic element or something. They changed the name a couple of times. It's
Dynamic
the
block.
dynamic something is what they're calling it.
And we'll give the shout out to Adam who showed me this. If you go under preview, you can go full content and it will show you what it will look like on that page. Same
Right.
thing works for courses as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So you see the white part in the middle is what you just put into this lesson, whereas
Yep.
everything around it is the lesson or blog, in this case, your blog. So blog template then is around it in the grayed out area. Yeah. And that again, that's a really nice feature that they added, probably sometime in the last month or two.
Yes. Yeah. And for people that are like, well, how do I edit um, that whole section? Like how do I edit the blog part? That's underneath your theme, um, site, overview, edit
Well, now
site.
the question becomes is was there a link to edit the blog template from within where you were adding the blog itself? Is there? Because I thought there
I
might
guess the
be.
SEO. Um, I can override it here. Oh yeah,
There
edit
you go.
default
Edit
template
default.
page.
Yeah. So you can add in a different template there, but now that will edit the default template page. I don't know if that will edit the custom template page that you would have put in the box right above that. And the default template page would be set at the level of the site, I think.
Yes, so this would be just like you would see at the site level, with a dynamically replaced content block.
Yeah. So it says content body at the top, and then it says yes. But I think if you look for it in the sidebar, actually open up the sidebar. So just click to add an element, but because you're in the editor. So no, add an element. You're editing an element.
Yeah.
There you go. And just put in dy at the top.
What did you say?
Dy for dynamic.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, so there we go. So they are still calling them dynamic slots, and there's content body and content footer, which I've never seen a use case for the content footer before. But so you use the body, that's what you're seeing. Well, down further on the page is the content body element.
How would one get to the content footer?
I don't know, and I don't know where you would put it in. You're right. That's a good question. There's not an element anywhere that I know. Yeah, there's nothing anywhere that I know of that would create the content to go into that dynamic footer. Because the content body, you go into the lesson or into the blog itself, and what you create in there goes into the content body. But you're right. There's nowhere to create the content footer. So who knows? That's been in there since 2.0 came out. So I don't know if they have plans for that, or who knows? It could be an artifact that got in there that they've never taken out, and eventually someday may go away.
Yeah. Unless I wouldn't think that it would populate two of them on the blog article. I don't think it's going to give us two spots.
Well, if it does, if you go into a blog, it'll probably put it in twice.
Footer content.
And you're in an okay, so you are in a blog post.
Preview, yeah. So let me
just drop something in there. Yeah, that'll be fine. And then let's preview.
Oh, look, right here, footer. On the preview.
Okay.
So if I change,
put something in there. Put like the black thing or the purple thing or something in there so we can see the difference.
Put this one in. So like if you wanted to do an offer wall, you could put an offer wall on your blog, for example, right? And there is our, let me get that done. There is our content. There's our footer.
Yeah. So, and it doesn't replace the footer because that's part of the template. So, well, that's interesting then. So you do actually create both of those. I did not know that, because that would be the same for the lessons, because I've seen that in there. And I was always like, what is this footer thing for? But that makes sense now. Okay. All right. Well, hey, we just learned something.
We did just learn something.
Oh my God.
Is this a fiddle around and find out?
Well, again, that's what Russell said. Everybody get in there this weekend and break it. Well, I don't think he said break it, but
no, he didn't say break
our
it.
job. So now we got the customer center. And my question with the customer center always is why isn't the customer center, especially in a case here, why isn't the customer center added in as part of the courses? Because that's the only place you use the customer center is with the courses. So for me personally, I would put that in there, just like on the sidebar. I'd put the collections in, like the course collection. I would put that in where I'm setting up the course, not in a separate thing that says just for collections. But again, that's me, and I'm sure they have a very good reason for doing it. Or, they might say, hey, we'll listen to Dan, but probably not. So
I think the cool thing here is that these visibility settings, you used to have to go and kind of dig for those in order to find them, to add them to the customer home or the customer center, and that's all accessed in the nav under the
now that you say that, I don't think when you clicked on the customers, when you clicked on the customer center, it always opened up the customer center. This information was actually somewhere else.
Yeah, it was under like a 3 dot type situation or a gear type situation. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
So then the question becomes is how do you edit the customer center page? Was there an edit at the top of the page?
customize.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. But again, I still think that should be included with the course itself. Even though here it's right above it, it's not it's not right above it on the other UI.
Correct. It's like closer to home, I think,
Well, it's
previously.
well, if we go back to the first page, the dashboard, um, it's up under site instead of being under courses.
Oh, yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, because that's the only time you would use the customer center is when you're using courses.
Yep.
But either way, enough of that.
And the preview, the little eyeball takes us right to the preview of it.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So then we have analytics, and haven't used this a whole lot myself, and we don't have any data or anything else in here. Oh, we've got look at that total page
Going
views,
up.
85. We've clicked on 85 pages already, apparently, since
No, no, no. It's over the last week. So
okay. So we got that reporting, live
same
view.
same
Okay.
as before.
I don't
And
know as though I've ever been in the analytics.
and live view was there as well.
Okay. All right. Community. Have not really worked with this myself either.
Okay, slightly different UI on it. So share your story. Say like
And now where is that going to be shared to?
inside the community, which nobody else has access to, right?
Right. So
Uh,
we're the only ones in the community right now.
yep.
Okay.
So I could ask a question. I could say hello. Obviously, like if I'm building this out in something like a school um, or circle, I would want to put like my initial posts in here. Maybe I want to give them, some guidelines. Maybe I want to create some other little chat rooms. It's cool. You can see like one recent post.
Now, how do you get back to where we were? Is you just go up to the top and you click on the name of the workspace? Is that it? Or what did you? Because you opened up a different tab
It
now.
opened up a new tab.
Oh, it opened a new tab. Okay.
Yeah, so this is where we're at.
Because I guess at that point here, because we're down below where the apps are, they're all different apps, which is
Yes.
then curious for me because you have site there is an app. So how is the site app different? Different than what's above it, the funnels, products, customers, and marketing. That's all part of ClickFunnels. So again, I don't understand why the site would be under the apps. Again, I'm sure there's a good reason for it.
Yeah.
All right, let's click on courses and see what they changed in there. Probably not much, except for how a few of the things look. That's pretty much exactly the same.
Oh no, there is something. Look up here. If we go back, we can go to Message Hub at the top or
Or
Learning
learning.
Hub.
Okay.
So you
All
would
right.
be
Yeah.
able
That.
to see the courses that you had in Learning Hub.
Yeah. So that's kind of just a scaled down version of your courses, and there's a place in the course when you do the settings. I said,
Yeah.
also create this in a learning hub as well.
Yes. And it's
Well,
creating
as long as
course.
we're in here, we might as well show the one thing that I was talking about earlier that I didn't think we were going to show, which is the ability to preview your themes. So if you can, just X out of here and open up an existing course.
Okay.
And
That's the
let
one
me
I just
think.
created.
I don't know if it's go up and click on settings. I think that's where you have to get into it. Either click the gear on the first page of the settings here, and now you go change theme. Yeah, so here you have the opportunity to use right now they got 8 different marketplace themes in here, or you can use your own existing themes. There was 2 things on the left-hand side. And then you come
Yes.
in here and you can look at what the courses, the modules, and the course home would look like. Again, I look at that and I go, they got lessons first, then modules and home. Again, if I were doing this, I'd do it the opposite. Home on the top, lessons on the bottom, because that's really how you go through the course levels. And then in the bottom left-hand corner, you can change the style guide.
Oh
So if you
yeah.
go down there, click on that, we'll change it, and it should change out the colors and the fonts and all that kind of stuff. So you get to see what it's going to look like with that style guide. And now if you want that, you click install, and it installs that theme and that style guide into your membership, or
Yep.
into your course in this case here. But I'm pretty sure it only does it there. It doesn't change it anywhere else. And so for every one of your courses, then you can use a different theme and style guide combination.
Yes, and I think, like, if you want your courses to be uniquely different, like I crazily like to do, um, uh, multiplying your theme, for a lot of people might be the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
But it does
So
will also clone all the pages too, so just be aware of that.
So that is, I think the main update inside of the membership area are courses. If you remember to
We
call
will
it
say
courses.
down here,
Yep.
this is how you would, show in the Learning Hub.
Okay, so let's save that, and then and it's show to non-members. If you select yes, this course. What does it say there? Show to new members. If you select yes, course will be shown to members not yet enrolled. Okay, which I think it, at least in a course collection, I think it shows all of them. Maybe it doesn't show them all anyway. I'm not,
Think maybe
actually
yeah,
at this point here, I think they only do show the ones you're enrolled in. But now I forget.
probably
The
at a
course,
Learning Hub level. Yeah, maybe.
have to test that one again.
So now if we go back to courses and I go under Learning Hub, yep, there's my one in the Learning Hub. And I wonder if how we gotta make it published. No, it's still not. It didn't take me right to Learning Hub. Oh, maybe because it took me to courses. It took me to that specific course, not to the Learning Hub.
Well, so you made that one a learning hub. You clicked on, because I'm sorry, I got distracted by
I just
something.
clicked on open a new window,
Okay, and it took you where?
just to the course.
Okay.
Just yeah, this is the layout I had on it. That's the theme I had on it.
Okay, so you're saying that's the course homepage?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Do you have any like published modules or lessons inside of that? Why don't you take a look at
No.
it? Okay. Well, that's certainly part of the reason why is without having anything published inside, it can't show you anything else. So that makes sense. They showed you the homepage, which is probably what it is probably supposed to do anyway.
Yeah, it just didn't take me to the Learning Hub version of it. It took me to the native. And maybe it's because I have the theme changed or something. I have
Yeah.
a unique theme on it. I don't know. That's a one you can play around with and look into. So
Yeah. Did you publish any? Okay, you do have one lesson
yeah,
there published.
I got one lesson published.
Well, now go back out because you clicked on preview here. So is this the one that you made for the Learning Hub? It was,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Okay. Well,
Under Learning Hub, it's right.
now that you published that stuff, or had you already had it published before? So
There.
just go to the live page now that
Let me
you.
just double check. Let's just change the
Yeah, hopefully that won't take too long.
we'll find out in a few minutes. Um Oh, redirect. Okay, so I had redirect to full course on, so that probably needs to be
Enabled
uh,
when
non-enabled. So
okay.
I'll go back and show that since I went through that. So there is this little thing right here. It says redirect to full course. If enabled, when someone visits the course in the Learning Hub, it will redirect to the full course view. The full course view is where you would customize it, like what you
Right.
saw there, right? If you
Yeah.
want just the simple scaled down version, that is the more teachable Kajabi version.
Okay, there we go. That's definitely scaled down.
No,
So
no, it's exactly the same.
no, it is. Oh.
Yep. So maybe it hasn't maybe we have a little bit of a caching issue maybe.
Yeah, I mean I've updated yet.
Yeah.
Because it should be really plain Jane. It should just be basically a sidebar, boxes.
Yep.
That should be really it.
Yep.
Um, okay. All
I'll
right.
try
Well,
one
let's.
last time. Nope. Okay.
Okay, so now we got landing pages, but that's totally new. I don't. There was
Mhm.
nothing before called landing pages, but what did we? So this is
These are all your funnel pages. I just know that these are all my funnel pages. Um
okay.
it's interesting.
So how's that different than funnels at the very top?
Because these are the individual pages inside of the funnels. So I guess if I wanted to come through here and do the images on them, or the SEO on them, or change the URL on them, um,
So this was the equivalent in the old UI of going to pages and then to funnel pages. It would show you each individual funnel page, which again is a feature I really like in 2.0, that you can go to where the funnel pages are. And I would guess if you go to workspace settings, you can also go to funnel pages there, and then you can type in some keyword and then be able to find what those actual funnel pages are.
yep.
That's, again, a nice
Interesting.
feature to be able to find that, because I mean, the page you're looking for could be one of 15 inside of a funnel, and you don't remember the name of the funnel, but you remember the name of the page, and
Yep.
so you can just go in there and find it easily that way. I know I've had that problem before.
Yep. Interesting. It says you can add this to site navigation. By turning this setting on, you'll make this page automatically available in your site navigation. So I would
Oh,
imagine that's in your universal like header nav bar.
automatically available in your site navigation. That's either, to me, would mean it's what's going to show up on that sidebar, just like the site pages,
Okay.
or this could be because they now have site maps. Maybe that's what they mean there, is that's going to add it to the site map. So they're doing XML site maps basically on the fly. We were talking about that on one of the ambassador lives the other day. So they're doing the XML site maps on the fly and basically sending them to Google.
Mm,
And so we talked about that. And one of the caveats I gave to people then is, if these sitemaps are being automatically created, you want to make sure that, so if you got your mydomain.com, make sure that if you got some junky page that you're working on, don't give it the domain of mydomain.com, because it's going to end up on that sitemap, and Google's going to crawl it and it's going to find it and it's going to see it's a crappy page. And so that could hurt you with Google. So be really careful about using domains. If you got one domain you want to use just for testing purposes, fine, but don't use it on your good stuff. It's like, don't use the good China, you know. um
I guess
okay,
that one
so
thing I will I saved it and it took us someplace different. Look, it took us back to all pages under workspace settings.
okay, so it took us, okay, so it kicked us into, but now if you click up at funnel pages at the top, is that the same as what we're just looking at for the landing pages? It probably
Well,
will be.
that's what
No.
I was going to look back and see.
Oh, it does
So
say landing pages on the top left there,
it
where it
does
would
say
have been in the past, it would have been standalone pages.
yes.
So I guess maybe that's what they mean. So the landing pages are standalone pages and the funnel pages are something else. So now click on site pages. Did the one, because you set one of them you on the last one we were looking at, you set that toggle, but was it
Oh,
your about?
I untoggled it after you saying,
Oh,
about the Google thing. Yeah.
oh, okay. You were afraid. Okay, well, just let's look at this one here. Click the gear on this one here, and let's see if that toggle is turned on.
Yep.
Okay, add to site now. Okay, turn that off, and let's see if it goes out of there.
Yep.
Okay, so that adds it to the site pages. Okay, all right. So that was the same as that little checkbox that they had before. Okay.
But it's automatically going to add an example page. Is when I turn that one off. Now I have nothing in the site pages.
Yeah, where'd that example page go to? Probably went into the
It
theme
went
page.
on the landing pages, I think.
Did it? Click on it. No? Unless it's alphabetical. Could be alphabetical.
Probably is alphabetical. Yeah, example page under landing pages.
Okay. Okay. So landing pages are standalone pages. Click on the theme pages real quick. Just, I'm sure that's probably exactly the same.
Yeah, it loaded in all the theme pages.
Yeah.
It didn't just add in just the course.
Okay. All right. Let's bounce back to the first page, because about the only thing we haven't looked at in here is that plus button. So, I mean, we clicked on it shortly, I mean, just for a second earlier. So if we click on that, then we got new apps we can put in here. So the ones at the bottom look like they've already been added.
Yep.
Analytics,
Your
community.
analytics, community, courses, landing pages, and site pages. Curious about.
Can you? I'm curious. Can you remove it? Once
Check them.
you have it in there, can you take it out?
No, does not look like it. And so I think like short links is what was URL redirects before, correct?
Possibly. Create short links to share with your audience. Probably, yeah, probably track the performance. Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah. So obviously your message hub, your store, your payments AI, appointments, countdown funnels, which those were under marketing settings, under marketing, and then opportunities. And so probably we went to the message hub. You can play around with the ones at the top. Go to appointments. So this replaces your Calendarly. I do know that it does the, so I can add my Google Calendar in there. You can set it to like rotate between people. I know like that's a pretty cool feature of it.
Yeah, round robin is
Yep.
what I saw on something Todd was showing.
Yep.
But I think he said at this point here, I'm not sure if that function is working yet or not. So you got all that you can add in there, and right now I don't think we will, because it might take a while to load up. From what Loris had said earlier, he was having trouble getting whichever one it was loading
Message hub.
up.
Yeah.
So let's just real quickly look at the workspace settings again, because we've gone for over an hour already, believe it or not. It's an hour and almost 15 minutes. So we could spend another hour and 15 minutes if we wanted to go through every single one of those apps we could add up, and then go through every single one of the workspace settings here as well. So that's why I guess Russell did this on Friday, so people could actually take the entire weekend to go through everything you could possibly click on and work with.
Yeah.
Because there's an awful lot of them in here. Jeez.
Yes.
And
it does look like there is a lot more streamline of functionality, right? We used to have our marketing settings used to be under marketing. Now it's all generalized under one settings. There's my address if anybody wants to send presents. But you got collaborators. I imagine this is like my team. Contact attributes. These are my dynamic or my custom fields. Domains.
Oh, is that okay? So the contact attribute. So if I create a custom field on a actual funnel page, and somebody says, what's your favorite color, and they type in blue, that's what shows up under contact attributes.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yeah, it would be whatever you set it as, right? Label.
Well, if it's a text field, somebody could
Text
type in
field
the
or
word
select.
blue, and so
Yes, correct.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So you got to set this in here as a text field, and then set it also in the funnel, or
I think it
how does?
shows up here. I think it populates here as well. Because obviously I set these in the funnel because this functionality wasn't
Okay.
here before.
Okay. So
But I mean, I
you
guess that'd be kind of cool. Like, I guess if I come over here and I say, I type something in, I wonder if I can pull these in multiple funnels.
well, that was a question I was kind of having. Then, does it go both ways? So you can create it inside of a funnel, but then if you create it here and you go into a funnel and you pull it up, will it pull up the list? What options should this field have? Okay. So now if we go into a custom, I forget which element it is, whatever it is, then
So
will
let's
these
just check
populate?
that. Okay, it doesn't look like I can delete it. I can hide it. Doesn't look like it will pull up a list of people who have looked at it, for example.
Oh, well, I think that would then maybe be under your
Other
segments. You could
contexts.
find it under the
Yeah.
segment,
Yes. Yep.
wherever the heck that was. I guess that was under marketing, probably, or
Yeah.
customers, probably customers.
Yeah.
But my question is now, so go into a funnel page, or is that what you're doing, to
That's what
see
I'm
when you
doing.
pull that in? Okay.
And I think the big question that Andrew here would want us to ask is, can we access it after people have put that information in? And that will be to be determined.
Well, no, we saw it actually. You had your custom attributes
True.
in that was either in a workflow or a segment or something where we saw that earlier.
Yes, you're
So
right on
you
that.
can access it there and trigger or do something with workflows or segments or something based on that thing.
It does not look like, unless I added it in the wrong spot, it doesn't look like I can come through and pull a, a list of custom attributes.
Mm. Okay.
Because that wouldn't be in any place other than checkbox, text area, select box. Yeah, I mean, it would be right here in forms. It would be in input.
Okay, sorry about that. Had a little distraction going on there. So it doesn't look like it can be populated in here from what we saw.
No, so I guess the same place you would still want to create it in here. But you know what? Maybe that functionality is coming. Maybe it's just not quite
Yeah.
ready for prime time yet.
Or we don't know how to do
Not
this.
sure.
So,
Correct.
and that's
Correct.
the other thing is I haven't checked, but I think there's probably a whole bunch of help docs because I did see some help docs the other day that actually showed how to do like where we were in the courses and we were doing the custom themes and choosing our custom themes. I did see a help doc in there with an animated video showing exactly how to do it. So there's probably help docs on all this stuff already, at least on much or most of it.
Yes, but if not, you can always just add your custom type here and put in what you would, whatever you would have here, right? Whatever the options would be. So I don't think that's the last thing I've checked. If I go select box, custom option, yeah, no, doesn't give me the option to pull it in there either. So
Okay. All right.
okay.
Well,
That's okay. We don't need to say. Oh, we're back over here anyway. The other tab. All right, domains pretty much the same. Our integrations are third-party integrations, Beehive, Slack, different things like that.
Well, actually, click on Connect Integration. Let's see what they have in there for integrations. See if they got anything new in there.
Active Campaign, Aweber, Beehive, Blast Table, ClickFunnels Classic, Constant Contact, ConvertKit, Get Response, Klaviyo, Keep, HubSpot, GoToWebinar, MailChimp, OnTrap,
Mhm.
Pipedrive, Sendline, Zono, Webinar Field, Twilio, and Slack. So those are all
Yep.
exactly the same.
Yep, not really seeing anything new in there. There's a couple new ones going to be coming at some point, but they're not in there yet from something I saw the other day. And then,
Interesting. External integrations is new as well. Not
it
new
is.
in terms of Zapier's always been there, but that little external one was not there. But maybe that's making room for like the API that we know is out there and that people are building integrations for.
Right. Okay. Got locations, marketing
So you
set.
would be like your location of your store for shipping details, so it can
Okay.
grab the location to take your correct shipping calculations from.
Okay. Marketing
Marketing
settings.
settings,
Okay.
same things.
This looks like the same as before. Yeah. My assets.
Really, SMTP is new. We just had email
Oh, that's
domains.
right. I did hear the other day that they are going to allow you to start using your own SMTP instead of ClickFunnels. So I guess if you're having deliverability problems with ClickFunnels or something like that, you can go over to SendGrid or whoever else, Railgun or somebody else.
Which
Um,
was the thing that I always thought was the pain in the butt with ClickFunnels Classic was integrating with SendGrid. But you probably did it so much that. But as a
well,
first
yeah,
time,
there's definitely a process that's about 50 steps long in order to do it. There's no doubt about that.
okay, my assets, course videos, downloads, audio files, and fonts.
Mm-hmm.
And
Those are
must
all
filter
there.
for the theme because I have no idea who that person is.
Everyone just snuck in there.
Somebody snuck in there. Yep. Pages is where I can come through here and say, hey, I don't want that one. I can come down here and hit delete. Shipping. I think a lot of people, when they set up their shipping and they say it's supposed to be free shipping, you got to go in here into these shipping profiles, very Shopify-esque, and say, hey, I want to ship it for free to the US, but everybody else in the rest of the world, I want to charge, $97. I can add conditions, hey, if it's over, you know, $700, I'm going to give it to them for free or something like that.
Okay.
Yep. And then this is discard on this. Ship integrations where you come in with ShipStation's new. You still only be able
Okay.
to have Shippo.
That was one of them I saw was going to be something new the other day. Yeah. So ShipStation.
Live rates on your packages where you connect your shipping profile and then save packages.
So go back to the shipping integrations. Does it appear that the ShipStation is live?
Yep. And it's cool because it's an API key. With Shippo, I think makes you sign in. It's like you have a Shippo account, but you don't quite have a Shippo account. It's kind of a or at least was an interesting. It's weird, right? It's like you can't just go to Shippo and look for your products and to see the packages that went out. It worked more like a webhook kind of type situation where you didn't have access to like a traditional Shippo where you watched all of the stuff. So, but yeah.
Well, yeah, and with ShipStation here, because they integrated using the ClickFunnels API, I do believe that from what I heard, the information from ShipStation is supposed to be pulled into ClickFunnels. Where,
Yes.
what, all that stuff until again, watch a help doc, but also set it up and see what happens.
Yep.
Figure out where it goes into because at this point here we don't have any way to really test that.
Yep. Nope. I'm waiting for Pirate Ship. That's my preferred shipping because I just love the pun.
Okay. So, all right. So, system email. So, the only question I would have in there is everybody keeps asking. I see it in the requests. People asking, can we have more flexibility on editing them,
Yep.
and
And as you
especially
can
like
see,
the course enrollment ones and stuff like that.
I have them customized, just because of how we're doing this. We're doing it a little bit differently. People don't know they're being enrolled in a course. They're thinking they're adding it to the library. So I went through and changed the email they get. Right, you see new health resource available, and completely customized it. And all you have to do is toggle that active.
Okay. All right. So, but that had been in there before.
Correct. Yes.
So maybe I was looking at some old requests in the past.
Yep. Um, I think, yeah. Obviously, there's none on opt-in. Of course, there wouldn't be. Um, it's interesting, right? Affiliates, but yet there is not currently an affiliate program built into ClickFunnels 2.0.
I have a feeling it's coming soon at some point. Whatever soon means, I have a feeling it's going to be coming at some point.
And then you have your styles, of course, um, your tags. You can see all your contact tags, funnel tags, your order tags, and your product tags. And when we click into contacts, which you could always do this previously, takes you back to your contacts and filters it.
Okay.
Themes, pretty straightforward.
Now, I would
Your
guess where you went in there to with the contacts, you can also go in there and then like filter by tag as well. But
Yes,
here
yes.
you could you got your list of tags. You just go in there, look at the whole list, click, boom, you're in there.
It creates that filter for you
Yeah,
by clicking on that tag. Yep.
yeah. And
The
then
interesting
URL.
thing is, if I deleted a theme, would it remove all the pages too?
No,
Remove the
well, it
data?
hadn't in the previous UI, and it probably the same thing here because I did that one day where I had a workspace that somebody else had already started, and then we were hired to start working in it, and I had to go in and delete several themes because we didn't want them in there because it was just cluttering the place up, and so I got to spend like a considerable amount of time deleting a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, pages are still there. So add themes with caution if you
Yes,
want a
yeah.
really clean workspace.
I mean, realistically, for me, you need one theme. That's it. Pick whatever the newest one is, as far as you know, put it in there, and that's it. You don't really need a whole bunch of them.
Yep. And then here are all your URLs, the ones that are redirected, your blogs, your courses, your pages, and your funnels. And we were talking in one of our ambassador calls about these ones that have the arrows. If you had a problem, you could remove the redirect. And like in the old, ClickFunnels classic days where they would say, just change the number on the page, kind of reset it. You were kind of saying this is kind of like the Control Alt Delete if you're having trouble with your redirects.
Yeah, for the most part, I suggest that you just go in there and you delete all of them because 99.99% of them you don't want in there anyway. Because what it was is you went in there and you see like there you got amia.myclickfunnels.com. So you set that, you built that when you did not have your custom domain set up. Well, chances are you didn't have any of the stuff live. You didn't put that link out there to anywhere in the universe. So you really don't want that redirect. So in this case here, I would go in and I would delete all those redirects out of there.
And then lastly is webhooks.
Okay. And you got a couple in there already?
Yep. And so like we can obviously add a webhook here. We can use API version 1 or API version 2. That's new. And then obviously we have all the different event types for the webhooks. And obviously this is getting really into the weeds when it comes to APIs and the power of what we have been granted with ClickFunnels 2.0 that we did not have in terms of ClickFunnels Classic.
Oh yeah, we definitely had no access at all to the API in Classic, and so yeah, we've already done a little bit of work with the API, and there's a couple additional functionalities that we really need them to add into the API, but we've contacted the dev team and let them know what we're looking for. We found one little uh, kind of an error in there as well that they're hopefully going to be correcting. But I mean, but again, that's the thing here is so much of this is in kind of beta at this point. When you run into a problem, just shoot a video, send it to support, let them see what you're seeing, and then they can get it fixed up. Because if they don't see the issues, they don't know how to fix them. And so the best thing we can do at this point, all of us, is just let everybody know what's going on, and so it can get fixed.
100%. So I think that's pretty much it. We got to thank Loris for hanging out with us for pretty much the whole time and active in the comments. And I think there's some exciting things for a lot of us. And I also noticed that the notifications up here, which has always been there, but it is a little more detailed. So
Okay, and you got the
and it
change
does
log and all that
yep.
stuff. So, all right, well, we've been going an hour and 32 minutes. I think we've exhausted this for now until we get a chance to get in there, play around with it a little bit more, and know a little bit more about what's going on. So that's what we got. We will be back on Monday. And what were we going to talk about on Monday? We're actually going to get back to AI next week, Friday, short of something else happening. We'll be back to talking about AI on this show. And so, what were you going to talk about? I think you were up for Monday, right, Madison?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about 11 labs and how you can create realistic sounding voices, which might also get us a little bit into Chat GPT and a couple of different tools.
Okay, so we got all kinds of AI coming. And again, we're not sure at this time. I think we're going to be 4 p.m. Eastern time on Monday and Friday from now on. But just keep your eyes open. And of course, you can always watch it on replay inside of the ClickFunnels group anytime you want.
Have a wonderful, happy weekend and go out and play with ClickFunnels 2.0.
Yeah. And go out and get some sunshine this weekend, too, if there's any sun where you are. So, all right. Have a great weekend.
We'll see everybody on Monday.